Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully get all that our registration fee student data, right? And also I added one of the fee slip. So when you click into the fee slip, that will be redirected to one of the new page, and there is our one of the URL, and then that is our class ID will be needed, and also you have to get this our student ID, right? Because I have already passed this data. That is our route, one of the route of the student registration fee, and the pay slip that will be one of the class ID, and also pass it with the student ID, right? So now I create this URL. I have already created it. So that is our student registration fee slip, and then that is our URL. And in our registration fee controller, I have created this method. So that is our method, right? So from here I have to get all that our requested data, right? So that is I have to get all that our requested data by the class ID and also by the our student ID. For the reasons here we have to pass that request, and also you have to pass that $request. Okay, and first of all we have to get our two of this requested data. We have to get our class ID, we have to get our student ID. So that is all in our which table? That is all in our assign table, assign student, that is our student ID, and that is our class ID, right? First of all I want to get all that our requested this data. So first of all I take one of the variable. I take variable as a student ID, and then student ID will be our request student ID. I think you already at that point you understand why I'm using it. So that will be the student, that will be the student requested ID. Okay, and also I get that our class ID, and then that will be our request. Okay, request, and then request class ID, that will be the request class ID. Perfect. And then I take one of the variable. I take one of the variable as a whatever you choose. I name it as a all student, and here I take the things with one of the array as a, I name it as a details. Okay, I name it as a details. So with these details I want to actually pass all the data. That will be our variable, and then our table name, our table model as a this one is assign student, right? Assign student model. So with this assign student model, also here we have to get all that our student data, right? We have to get our student data, we have to get that our discount data. So I have already created that relation in our here, that means in our student assign student model. You can see I have already created the relation with the student, and there is a discount. So I want to get both of these data. I have already created that relation with the user table and the discount student table. So that will be obviously with, so I name it as with, and with our first of all that will be as a student stud. Better I copy it rather than my spelling will be actually wrong. That will be our this method as a student method, that will be as a student method, and also I want to add another one that will be as a discount method. I have already created that relation in our assign student model, that is our discount method. So with this discount method I want to get that our all the discount data also. Okay, and our condition, that will be our student ID and the class ID. So I put that condition, that will be as a where same as a in our assign student table, there are one of the field as a student ID. Student ID will be our which one? Student ID will be our requested student ID. I take that things with this variable, so that will be obviously this one. I hope it's very much clear to you. And also we have to do the same things as a where I want to put that same condition in our assign student table. They have the field as a class ID. So this class ID will be matched with our this requested class ID. So that is our requested class ID, right? If you go there, you can see there is a class ID and there is a student ID in our assign student table. So I have already used it. So that will be our main condition, and from here I want to get that a specific one data. That means a specific one row data, that means the first data, right? So that will be as a first. Perfect. And now after that I want to generate our PDF. So if you want to generate that PDF, make that sure you use it. That means use that PDF, right? So I have already used it in our registration fee controller. So I did this work maybe into the student registration controller. Into the registration controller, maybe I use it. because I have already generated our PDF. You can see that is actually our PDF, that is our format, right? So now I copy this format, I copy this total format, and now in our registration here I paste it. Okay, that will be the same condition. So that is a PDF, and then load view, and load view will be into the backend. That is our student, and then before I have created this PDF, right? So now I want to create another one. Another one means I have already created this folder as a registration fee. So into the registration fee folder already I want to create another file. So better I want to change that name. That will be as a registration. Okay, registration underscore fee. So that is actually our folder name, and into this folder area I want to create one of the file that will be as a registration fee underscore PDF. Okay, you can generate it, and then you can also use it as a free slip. Okay, so whatever you choose. So right now it's okay with me. I copy it. There is a registration fee and then PDF. So this file I want to create in our registration fee folder. Now click as a new file. Now click as a save as, and I name it as a registration fee underscore PDF dot blade dot php. Okay, that will be our file. So now I simply load it, and here I pass our data. That means that is will be our all student, right? So not that data, so that will be as a all student because I name it as all student. Perfect. And then our set protection with the copy print, and that is our Nicholas PDF package. So here we don't need to change anything. Return stream that document PDF format, everything will be just like that same. Now we have to design this page, right? So here we have to design it. So better I want to check it first. Click as a save all. I click as a save all. First of all I have to check it is appropriately loading it or not. So maybe that will be not working here. Now click as a refresh. So now I choose one that is our 2018 class 1 search. Yeah, they have the one data. Click as a free slip. Perfectly, it's now loaded, right? It's now perfectly loaded, and you can see that is our PDF is loaded. Okay, that means everything is actually working perfectly. So as I told you friend, for my Chromie actually my default IDM actually loaded. So right now I want to do and to open it this project in our another browser, my default browser. So here I open it and paste it. First of all I have to log in. Okay, log in with our email address and password. Is now successfully logged in. Now go to our student and the registration fee. With the registration fee I want to check it again. 2000 class 1 search sheet, perfectly loaded. Open it. Yeah, you can see our PDF is now perfectly loaded. That means right now we have to design this PDF, right? So friend, better I want to continue this process. In our next video I will design this PDF, and here I want to visible all that our data. Okay, so how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.